Here we are today speaking about our fourth type of attachment, secure attached or securely attached people and kids. So we are going to speak about how to securely attach, how to get there, because I mean, if you're securely attached, then I guess you don't need this video, but let's get to it.
Disclaimer alert! Disclaimer alert! Please pause the video and read the disclaimer.
So I've already spoken about all the other three attachments, including introduction to attachment. So this video is an introduction. This video is ambivalent. This one is anxious, avoidant, and this one is fearful. So go watch any of those videos if you're near attached. The introduction also actually has a link in the description that can help you take a test to figure out how you're attached. Most people are a combination of many. Healthier people have a larger number in a secure attachment than the other ones, but remember that attachments are not stagnant. They can change, they can progress, you can get better, you can heal, you can be a securely attached person. So let's speak about securely attached people. The parents of the securely attached kid is available, right? They are ready to be a parent. They can provide physically, emotionally, psychologically, spiritually, in any other way, medically, whatever way that the child needs, the parent is there, right? This is not spoiling a child. This is raising a healthy child, right? Their parent is there. A child has a nightmare, is there. A child cries, the parent is there. So that's the biggest thing. They are available. Number two, they are equipped, right? They equipped in the sense that they are ready to be parents, but they also know how to be a good parent. I think, the easiest way is to say they've done their own emotional, psychological, spiritual work, healing before they had kids. They're in a good place. They are also collaborative parents. So they are not dominant to the child. They understand that, yes, this is my child, but the child has their own needs, their own wants, their own way of thinking, their own way of experiencing and seeing the world, and they collaborate. They are wanting to know how the child feels and how the child thinks and supportive of it. They provide scaffolding, meaning that, like for instance, I have a nephew who's 3, right? He's struggling, he's learning to talk, right? He went from bubbles, now he's putting long sentences. A collaborative parent is a parent who helps him in his communication of feelings and communications of experiences, communication, talking, walking, whatever. They become as of a scaffold. And a scaffold, for those of you who don't know, is when you see a building, people build, you'll see like a metal thing that stands behind the building that people get on to build, but also it stands as a support until maybe the concrete or whatever, the glue sticks and it becomes solid and it can stand on its own. So that parent is a supportive scaffolder and gives a kid the opportunity to stand on their own with a little bit of help and support. Parents also have good emotional regulation. And I said good emotional regulation because, as I said, they have done the work, right? They don't over-explode like some of the other parents, or under-explode like some of the parents. They know, I'm tired and I am now impatient with my kid because I've had a hard day of work. Instead of blaming the child for misbehaving, they regulate themselves. You see those parents that says, I need a little bit of a nap, or do you want a nap with me? So they are even able to communicate to their kids, mom has a headache, or dad had a hard day of work, right? They are healthy human beings. It's not on their child. They're not exhausted or anxious about their kids, but they also allow their kids to know that they're human beings with struggles and wins at times, so that they normalize life in all its range in a healthy proximity way with kids. They also have good mirroring, right? So if a child falls and cries, like in this picture, they make a sad face. So, oh, I'm sorry you're hurt, right? Instead of the other disorganized parent who will laugh or cry with the child, right? They know how to soothe the child. They have appropriate responses to appropriate things. Unlike the ambivalent parent who will get mad for socks but not drugs, this parent has the correct amount of responses to the correct amount of behavior in themselves and in the kid. It's not all about the kid, but about regulating and seeing and knowing themselves. As adults, these people have good emotional regulation, right? Because they grew up in a home where they were able to experience a whole range of emotions. They grew up to be adults who allow themselves to experience a whole range of emotions. They're able to say, I'm really upset with you right now, I need space from you. So they know how to regulate themselves. They can identify their emotions, and they also know how to soothe themselves instead of those people, oh, I'm upset, this is happening, help me. They know how to help themselves, but they also know when to ask for help if things are beyond them, right? So they have a really good range. They're also very good in social situations because they've had a balanced life. They can go out and socialize and have a good time, but they're also not afraid of being in solitude. They're okay being by themselves and doing their own thing. Because remember, again, those parents who were able to say, I have a headache, I need a little bit of a break, instead of just or being unavailable, right? They are able to also communicate with their friends, and if their friends say, hey, I need a break, or I don't want to go for a walk, they don't take it personal. They understand a whole range of emotions and a whole range of experiences that people have, that just because I said that I don't want to go for a walk today, or just because I'm not answering a phone call, is not because I'm abandoning you. I could be experiencing something, and they trust that because they can communicate with people, people will communicate with them. And if you don't communicate with them, they will communicate with you, because again, they are secure in their experiences and in their feelings. And they are a complex human being with multiple layers, and they see others as complex human beings with multiple layers. They also have good mind and body connection, right? They have that fluidity, I would call it, between their body and minds, right? They know the difference between a stomach that is hurting because of hunger or a stomach that is hurting because of anxiety. They're that in tune with themselves. They know what's happening with their bodily sensations, and when you are in a relationship with them, they are like that number 5 in my video of 5 ways of relating. They're at the top at number 1, which means they have themselves and they have their partners, but they know where they end and where their partner ends, and they know where they and their partner connect. So they never try to take over the person with control and manipulation, and they will not allow you to do that because they are that confident and stable in themselves. This is my favorite thing about them. They are flexible in their thinking, super flexible. They understand that people are multi-layered emotionally, physically, psychologically. They're willing to reason with you and come and meet you where you are and discuss with you all the things that you might need. So the question for somebody who is watching this and who is not securely attached would be, how do I get myself in a place or a point of being securely attached? The best and fastest way to do it is to be in a relationship with a person who has secure attachment. Now the issue is, if you're unhealthy, these type of people normally do not allow themselves to be in relationships with people who are toxic and or struggling, because they see it as being an unhealthy way of attaching. So if you cannot find somebody who is securely attached, be as a friend or a role model or a mentor, then I would say watch TV shows. I said This Is Us, and I will try and figure out other TV shows that have been recommended by other psychologists as TV shows or books that symbolizes being securely attached. Because a mentor or a lover or a friend that has secure attachment and that is willing to be friends with you, they will eventually rub off on you and force you to be securely attached, because they don't typically, their boundaries are set in such a way that typically you cannot penetrate them in ways that are not healthy ways. The third one I would say is find a therapist, that they will teach you coping skills, that they will get into tweaking some of the behavioral issues that you have. Everybody can be securely attached, by the way, just so you know. We can all be securely attached with healthy ways, with therapy, with the working on ourselves, with all use some and all of these strategies that I've helped you, that I've mentioned, will get you closer. But having a therapist or somebody to work with will get you there even faster. All right. The kindest thing that you can do right now is share this video with one person and ask them to share with one person. Knowledge is power. See you in the next video. Deuces.